The interior of an ancient library. The light from a candle flickers on the shelves filled with ancient books. The spirit and the disciple are sitting at the table. The disciple looks at the spirit with impatience and slight irritation. Student, impatiently, well, Gus, I was just asking how words relate to magic. Gus, irritated, just shut up and listen to me. You know, I don't even get paid to explain all this. Student, sighs, okay. Gus looks into the distance, as if lost in memory. Long ago, when the earth first appeared, the matter that made it up was too bulky to hold its shape, and simply swirled in a dirty mass of chaos. And the first of the gods appeared and said, "Let there be earth." The manna hardened, becoming the earth, and the manna above the head thinned out and became the sky. Student, attentively, and what next? Gus, the Creator created the sun and the moon and separated the land from the sea. Then fire, wind and trees appeared, followed by other gods. Student, what about us? Gus, with a slight smile, you were part of this grand scheme too. You know, this ghost is a little eccentric and can be obsessive, but he's smarter than anyone I've ever known and he's taught me a lot. Student, interested, and what are these words and symbols that the Creator used? Gus, all the words and symbols that the Creator used, what we now call writing, are called words of creation. These words, whether spoken or written, have very deep power. Student, surprised, by force? Gus, yes, if you write the word Ignis, it will determine the existence of fire. And if you say the word Erasmus, which means erasing, the fire will be extinguished. And this is magic, the power of words. Student, admiringly, magic. Gus, seriously, God of justice. Gus, the ancient words of magic were given to the gods. These words of creation have incredible power. If parts of the inscription are erased, the powers of the words are not activated. Student, curious, Gracefield? Who is he? Gus, Gracefield is the god of light who rules the cycle of death and rebirth. He is the son of the lightning god Volta and the earth mother Mater. You worship Mother Earth, right? Student, nods, yes, you're right. She is the goddess of raising children and the gifts of the earth. Of the 6 main gods, she is especially revered in rural areas. So when you pray daily, you are speaking to Mother Earth, right? The interior changes to a cozy home. The apprentice, the spirit, and several other characters are sitting at dinner. Student, with surprise, wow, what a good boar. Thanks a lot. Other character, smiling, you're welcome. It was not an easy hunt. Student, joyfully, wow, it looks delicious. Don't worry, I'll definitely eat. Takes a piece of meat, this is so delicious. Thanks for the food, Blood, and you too, Mary. Blood, seriously, yes, gratitude is good. When you grow up, I will teach you to hunt on your own. Student, slightly scared, hunt? Mary, softly, he's too young for that. Gus, insisting, no, he should learn the basics now. But I have to admit, I'm impressed. He is only 3 years old, but he already knows how to read and write. He may be a genius like me. Blood, jokingly, what if he becomes an old curmudgeon with a huge brain? Student, laughs, come on, give me a break. Gus, with a slight smile, let me teach him magic. The skeleton may look scary and seem out of control, but it always knows what it is doing. Student, thoughtfully, they keep many secrets. Why do they live here and why are there no other people besides me? Since I was born, I have never met anyone other than these 3. But the biggest secret is Will's secret and situation. Will is a human with memories of a past life, though these memories are vague. He lives with walking corpses, seemingly undead beings, and keeps his true nature and memories a secret from them. Living with the undead, Will has been with these undead beings for 186 days. Despite their undead nature, they seem to take care of him, offering him food and companionship. They speak a different language, which Will is gradually learning to understand and speak. Experiencing the outside world, Will experiences the outside world for the first time, finding it beautiful and refreshing. He reflects on his past life and perceives his current situation not as a punishment but as a second chance given by grace. Training and learning, Will is being trained to build muscle and stamina. The dialogue suggests a focus on the importance of physical strength alongside skill development. Magic and language, the undead beings teach Will about magic and the power of words. There's an emphasis on precision in pronunciation and understanding the intrinsic power of words to define reality. Philosophical insights. There are philosophical discussions about the nature of words and their ability to define and differentiate objects and concepts. The idea that no one can pronounce a word the same way twice highlights the inherent variability and the need to rely on instincts. In a realm where the living and the undead tread together, the question of currency proves to be as vital as the air they once breathed. A conversation unfolds, questioning the rationale behind an apparition's reverence for wealth. How can a specter covet riches with such fervor, one might wonder. Yet, in this realm, money reigns supreme, its power transcending the barriers between life and death. Money is paramount, argues the specter, its translucent form tinged with frustration. It holds the very fabric of our world intact. With it, one can mend any tear in the fabric of existence, sans the need for mystic incantations. The lament of the specter rings true, for in this ethereal realm, the ability to grasp silver and gold is but a distant memory for those who now walk the corridors of eternity. They, too, pine for the tactile sensation of wealth slipping through their spectral fingers, an ache that knows no solace. Amidst their discussions, tales of ancient lore surface, whispered secrets passed down through the ages. Myths of gods and demons weave through their dialogue, painting a tapestry of a world steeped in supernatural intrigue. These beings, once mortal like the rest, now find themselves bound by a pact with the god of the undead, forever branded as traitors by the divine entities they once worshipped. In the midst of these musings, a mentor figure emerges, offering guidance to the fledgling protagonist, Will. Their words carry the weight of experience, tempered by the harsh realities of survival. Strength is paramount, they counsel, their voice a stern reminder of the world's unforgiving nature. Yet, amidst the specter of death and the clamor of battle, a glimmer of familial warmth persists. Bonds forged in the crucible of adversity bind Will to his mentor, Blood, their relationship akin to that of father and son. As Will stands on the precipice of adulthood, the specter of combat looms large on the horizon. In the aftermath of their skirmish, the air crackled with tension, yet beneath the surface, a sense of camaraderie lingered. Blood's gruff voice cut through the silence, admonishing Will for his lapse in focus during their battle. "Keep your eyes open, lad," he growled, his words a testament to the harsh realities of combat. Will's response was stoic, his resolve unshaken by Blood's rebuke. "I'll remember next time," he muttered, determination etched into every syllable. Their conversation veered towards the teachings of Gus, the enigmatic sage whose wisdom shaped their understanding of magic. "Gus keeps on telling me that I should learn to use minor magic more skillfully," Will remarked, his voice tinged with curiosity. He speaks of the wandering sage, a master of magic renowned for his precision and finesse. Blood nodded solemnly, memories of a bygone era flickering behind his eyes. In his time, Gus was known as the War Ogre, a formidable force to be reckoned with, he explained, his tone tinged with reverence. And Mary, she was once hailed as the daughter of Mater, her prowess unmatched by any who dared to challenge her. The mention of their past identities hung heavy in the air, a reminder of the burdens they carried from a time long forgotten. Yet, amidst the weight of their history, a sense of determination prevailed. "Keep learning, keep growing stronger," Blood urged, his voice a steady beacon of encouragement. Gus's words echoed in Will's mind, a constant reminder of the path he must tread to unlock his true potential. "I recognize your talent," Gus conceded, his gruff demeanor softened by a rare display of sincerity. "I'm teaching you to harness it, to wield it with precision and finesse." Yet, beneath the surface, tension simmered, a clash of egos and ideologies threatening to tear their fragile alliance asunder. Gus's brash demeanor grated against Mary's more reserved nature, their verbal sparring a testament to the underlying friction that defined their relationship. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Gus extended an olive branch, his gruff exterior softened by a genuine apology. "I was rude to you, Will," he admitted, his words heavy with regret. "I shouldn't have spoken so thoughtlessly." Will's response was gracious, his forgiveness a testament to his resilience. "It's okay, Gus," he reassured, his words laced with understanding. "We all make mistakes." In the quiet moments between battles and lessons, Will reflects on the complexities of his relationships with Gus, Blood, and Mary. Though Gus's gruff demeanor often belies his true intentions, Will harbors a deep respect for the sage, recognizing the wisdom that lies beneath his rough exterior. Blood's protective instincts, born out of a genuine concern for Will's well-being, serve as a constant reminder of the bond that binds them together. Will wonders at the depth of Blood's anger on his behalf, contemplating whether such fierce loyalty could have roots in a past life. Mary, with her quiet strength and unwavering guidance, holds a special place in Will's heart. It's from her that he learns the importance of the little things, the everyday rituals that bind them together as a family. As Will navigates the intricacies of their world, he grapples with the weight of their shared secrets, the knowledge that they are not truly alive but rather, undead beings clinging to the fringes of existence. Yet, amidst the turmoil, there is a sense of belonging, a warmth that envelopes them like a protective cloak. Gus's lessons shape Will's mind, Blood's training hones his body, and Mary's presence soothes his soul. But when tragedy strikes, when Will's curiosity leads to disaster, the fragile balance they've built threatens to unravel. Mary's injury serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk just beneath the surface, a consequence of Will's reckless pursuit of the truth. In the aftermath, apologies are exchanged, blame is cast, and wounds begin to heal. Through it all, Will learns the importance of trust, of communication, and of the bonds that hold them together. As Mary tends to her wounds, Blood's admiration for her courage is palpable. He acknowledges the scars she bears as a testament to her strength, a symbol of her journey into manhood. Yet, he laments the unnecessary injury she sustained in her efforts to aid Will, a consequence of her unwavering resolve. With a mixture of respect and regret, Blood imparts a solemn lesson to Will, revealing the significance of the bread that Mary provides. It is a gift from the Earth Mother, a symbol of divine protection and blessing. However, Blood's explanation takes a somber turn as he discloses his own betrayal of the Earth Mother and the punishment he must endure as a result. The revelation of their pact with the god of death stagnate sheds light on the complexities of their existence, the constant struggle between loyalty and consequence. Despite the pain it brings, Mary continues to pray to the Earth Mother, her devotion unwavering even in the face of retribution. Will, moved by Mary's unwavering faith and sacrifice, seeks to understand her better, to share in her rituals and experiences. His request to pray with her is a gesture of empathy and solidarity, a desire to stand beside her in her moments of devotion. As Mary shares the legend of the Earth Mother and the age of war among the gods, Will's curiosity is piqued. He seeks to understand the significance of the giant statues in the temple, symbols of the virtuous gods and their role in the ancient conflict. As they gathered around the flickering fire, Gus began to recount an ancient myth, one of many passed down through the ages. Long ago, he started, there was a battle between the lightning god, Volt, the king of the gods who governed order and judgment, and his elder brother, the war god Iltreat. Initially, Iltreat had the upper hand, but Volt, with the divine protection of his wife, the Earth Mother Mata, managed to banish the war god to the depths of the earth. Today, the war god continues to lurk within the earth, plotting his revenge. Will listened intently, absorbing the story. "Isn't that just a fable?" he asked, probing deeper. "It seems like it's saying that ruling in this world starts with violence and despotism, but eventually, agriculture thrives, and law and order spread. But over time, that can lead to violent overthrows or something similar." Gus nodded, a smile of approval spreading across his face. "You are very sharp indeed, Will." Volt, the god of order and judgment, is considered a virtuous god, while the war god is seen as evil. But if that order becomes corrupt, Volt could be perceived as an evil god, and Iltreat, by overthrowing that corruption, could be seen as virtuous. In essence, the distinction between virtuous and evil gods is ultimately made by those who place their faith in them. This is a perspective the priests would likely disapprove of, so it's best not to mention it to Mary. Will promised, "I won't. Besides, the gods think on different standards than ours. It's impossible for us to gauge their true intentions with our human sense of good and evil." Gus chuckled at Will's astute observation. "You know, Gus, you're pretty rock and roll," Will added, his eyes twinkling with admiration. Gus raised an eyebrow. "What on earth does that mean?" "It means you don't fit into any mold. You're unique." "Children truly make up some bizarre words sometimes," Gus mused, a hint of amusement in his voice. "But I do like the sound of that. Becoming free from obstructive thoughts doesn't mean thinking about nothing. It means blocking out the past and future, focusing only on the present. I need to offer my current insignificant self to the gods and dive in as deep as I can." With a serene smile, Mary rejoined them, her silent prayer having concluded. The 5-day silent prayer you've undertaken is now concluded. You did very well. Will looked up at her, his face reflecting a sense of accomplishment. I've done nothing but pray continuously for the past 5 days. Do you feel all right physically? Well, yeah, I'm fine. And you're only 13, Mary responded, her voice filled with a blend of pride and concern for the boy who was growing up under their care. Mary's healing touch and words of comfort had always been a balm for Will's scars, both physical and emotional. How remarkable you are, she often said, only because I've been praying with you all these years. It had been 5 years since the fateful day his arms were burned, and while Mary offered to heal the scars, Will chose to keep them, especially since Blood had called them his badge of manhood. Tonight, I'll prepare all your favorite foods for dinner, Mary promised, her warmth a constant source of solace. Meanwhile, Gus's lessons grew increasingly difficult. Each day, he piled on more information, challenging Will to keep up. Memorize all of this by tomorrow, he would say, pushing Will to his limits. But Will persisted, determined to prove his worth. The lessons became even more intensive, as if Gus was testing his resolve, trying to see if he would break under pressure. Yet, no amount of study or prayer could compare to the trials Blood set for him. Okay, now let's move on to our main event of the day, Blood announced one afternoon, leading Will to a captured demon. This guy is your opponent. Will's eyes widened in surprise. That's not what I meant. What's the problem? It's just a low-ranked demon corpse. Demons can become undead too. Summoning his courage, Will faced the demon. With swift, practiced movements, he struck it down. Look, Blood, I beat him. Blood nodded approvingly. Yeah, good job there. So, this is what they mean when they say a trained warrior can kill with mechanical reflexes. Will felt a surge of pride, tempered by Blood's words of caution. For your first killing match, that wasn't too bad. Hear me? I said it wasn't all that bad, so don't get a big head. Will couldn't resist a bit of cheek. Well, I'm more or less a genius, wouldn't you agree? Blood chuckled. This kid just might be a genius. Come on, aren't you gonna chew me out for that? Okay, how about we speed things up now and try something harder, genius? The ruined city had always been a distant, ominous silhouette on the horizon, but that day, Will set foot in it for the first time. The underground passages, once bustling with humans and dwarves, were now filled with danger and the mindless wandering undead. Blood had often spoken of the city's blacksmiths who had aided him, but now, the city was a perilous zone they had kept Will from exploring, until now. This spot should be good, Blood said, stopping in a relatively clear area. You've got your stuff with you, right? Will nodded, checking his supplies, shield, sword, jerky, bread, and water skin. These would be his lifelines. Okay, now escape from here, Blood commanded, his tone leaving no room for argument. I'll be waiting for you outside. Don't you die now. Will's heart raced. Wait a minute, Blood. He can't be serious, he thought, panic creeping in. The exit is this way, right? But what was it that Blood just said a minute ago? This place is. He took a deep breath, steeling himself. Of course, I'm pretty sure Blood is testing my overall practical ability here. As he ventured deeper into the city, the weight of solitude pressed down on him. I didn't know being alone could make me feel so empty and anxious. I had forgotten about that fact even though I'd. His thoughts trailed off as he focused on the task at hand. Every step through the dark, abandoned streets was a reminder of the training, the lessons, and the strength he had gained over the years. The echoes of his mentors' voices guided him, and despite the fear and uncertainty, Will knew he had to trust in himself and the skills they had imparted. Will's thoughts raced as he pieced together the puzzle of his current predicament. He was alone in the ancient ruins, his mentors' cryptic teachings swirling in his mind. He remembered how he had spent his previous life alone, but ever since coming to this world, Blood and Mary had always been there for him. Now, as he neared the age of adulthood, the lessons had grown harsher, more intense, likely in preparation for him to strike out on his own. Will was determined to make his mentors proud. As he navigated the ruins, he encountered an undead frost-kissed demon, a formidable opponent. What would Blood do, he thought. Knowing the demon's strength didn't match Blood's, he weighed his options, hide and slip past it or find another route. However, he was stuck without a weapon. Will's eyes caught the glint of a dwarven magic spear. Better than nothing, he muttered, grasping it firmly. As he moved, he felt a draft. Maybe I'm near the exit, he hoped. The deserted passages suggested the place had been abandoned for more than just a few decades. He wondered about his birth parents and why he was here. Suddenly, he encountered Gus, or at least what looked like him. "Gus, you're Gus, right?" Will asked, but Gus's silence and glare were unsettling. "Did Blood tell you I was here? Is this another lesson?" Will's heart pounded as Gus's projection unleashed formidable magic, summoning a golem. Realization struck Will. This wasn't a simple lesson. Great magic, a double kill. "Ruby, why?" Panic gripped him. "I don't want to die." Summoning his courage, Will gripped the spear. This spear should work on a ghost like Gus. He's the one who tried to kill me first, so no one can complain if I kill him. The thought of piercing Gus was gut-wrenching, but survival instincts kicked in. "Tell me, Gus, Grandpa, if you really have to kill me, there must be some reason. You're being forced, right?" Will dodged Gus's attacks, analyzing the situation. If Gus was serious, he wouldn't need to play around like this. He could suffocate me with fire magic or collapse the ceiling. He knew his chances were slim if Gus went all out. With a resolve forged from years of rigorous training and a deep-seated respect for his mentors, Will steeled himself. "I have to survive this. I have to understand why." He lunged at the golem with the spear, channeling everything Blood and Mary had taught him. Will's determination shone through despite the perilous circumstances. Standing before Gus, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was a deeper reason behind Gus's actions. "I don't want to fight you to the death because hurting you would make me feel worse than dying myself," Will confessed. "If it's something that really is important to you, and it's fine with me, you can kill me. I'm not afraid, I'm your pupil after all. But if it's okay, I would appreciate it if you didn't make it hurt too much." Gus's stern expression softened. "Ah, forgive me. I think I took that lesson a little bit too far," he admitted. "I admit this place did give me an advantage, but even so, I did win. It must have been a shock." "Shock isn't the right word," Will replied, still trying to process everything. "Was this a lesson against a sorcerer?" "Yes. Now don't ask questions. If you manage to defeat a Vasquez and take his spear, even Blood will congratulate you heartily," Gus said, trying to lighten the mood. "Tricks like that will come soon, so please don't be upset, okay? Come, Will, the best thing to do in a gloomy place like this is to leave this city." Will followed Gus out, his mind racing. The city, his mentors, and his own history all seemed connected in ways he couldn't yet understand. "Oh my, Will found a fine spear like this beneath the ruined city," Mary said, examining the weapon. "The steel is so vivid and bright. It certainly is a good, sharp blade. A short spear made to be highly practical. Truly the work of dwarves." "Yes," Gus added. "In addition, it appears to have several words engraved on it. Perfect for our lesson on appraisal." Will couldn't wait. Gus hadn't brought up the incident in the ruined city since it happened, and Will sensed there was a specific reason why. He decided not to tell Blood or Mary about it. Later, he and Gus appraised the spear, finding it had the name Pale Moon. Words of creation were engraved on both the spearhead and the shaft. The spearhead could emit light magic, serving as a light source or distracting enemies. The shaft was imbued with magic that allowed one to expand or shorten the spear at will. "That should make it easy to carry," Gus noted. Above all, Will was excited to finally have a magic weapon of his own. He began returning to the underground city regularly for Blood's lessons, heading down there with only a short sword to collect any weapons and armor he found. At first, it was tough, but over time, he could handle it without any trouble, even against formidable enemies like Vasquez. One day, Gus looked at Will and said, "You have acquired more than enough knowledge. Right now, I have something new that I would like to teach you." "Something else?" Will asked, eager to learn more. "You will enter the city underground and collect coins," Gus instructed. "I am going to teach you something very important. Is this enough?" "Indeed," Will replied, ready for the next chapter of his training. "Path you will follow in life. This is a crucial decision, and I trust you'll make the right choice," Gus continued. "Until then, focus on your training and studies. There are some things that you need to learn on your own." Despite Gus's refusal to explain his request, Will couldn't help but feel a sense of frustration. He wanted to prove his worth to his mentors, but their secrets and half-explanations left him in the dark. However, he decided to channel his frustration into his training, determined to be ready for the challenges ahead. Winter solstice arrived, marking the day of Will's coming-of-age ritual. The air was crisp and cold, and a sense of anticipation filled the atmosphere. Will had spent the last few months preparing for this day, honing his skills and deepening his understanding of magic and combat. Blood met him in the courtyard, his sword glinting in the pale winter sunlight. "Are you ready, Will?" he asked, a serious yet proud look in his eyes. Will nodded, gripping his own sword tightly. "I am." The duel began, and it was everything Will had expected: intense, challenging, and fiercely competitive. Blood's strength and skill were formidable, but Will held his own, matching him blow for blow. Each clash of their swords echoed through the courtyard, a testament to Will's growth and determination. As the duel progressed, Will remembered Gus's strange request. It nagged at the back of his mind, but he couldn't bring himself to deliberately lose. He fought with all his might, driven by a desire to prove himself. Finally, Blood disarmed him, the tip of his sword resting against Will's chest. "Well done," Blood said, breathing heavily. "You have truly become a warrior." Will smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. "Thank you, Blood." After the duel, it was time for the coming-of-age ritual. Mary led Will to the temple, where he would swear his oath to one of the gods. The temple was dimly lit, the air thick with the scent of incense. Statues of the virtuous gods loomed over him, their eyes seemingly watching his every move. Mary handed him a ceremonial dagger. "When you're ready, make your choice and swear your oath," she said softly. Will stepped forward, his heart pounding. He thought about everything he had learned, the challenges he had faced, and the mentors who had guided him. He knew this decision would shape his future, and he wanted to choose wisely. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "I swear my oath to the Earth Mother, Mater. I vow to protect and nurture the land and its people, to use my strength and knowledge for the betterment of all." As he spoke, he felt a warm, gentle presence envelop him, a confirmation that his oath had been accepted. When he opened his eyes, the statues seemed to glow softly, a sign of the god's approval. Mary smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "I'm so proud of you, Will." Later that evening, the three of them, Blood, Mary, and Gus, gathered with Will to celebrate his coming of age. The air was filled with laughter and stories, a rare moment of joy and camaraderie. "Right? It's sweet, but with a bit of a kick from the grape juice," Blood said, grinning. Will took another sip, savoring the flavor. It warmed him from the inside, a pleasant contrast to the cold winter air outside. "Thanks, Blood. This is really good." Blood clapped him on the back. "You're welcome, Will. I thought it would be a good way to mark the occasion. You've come a long way, and you've got a bright future ahead of you." As they continued drinking, Blood shared stories from his past, tales of battles fought and adventures had. Will listened intently, fascinated by the glimpses into Blood's previous life before he became undead. The stories painted a picture of a time when Blood, Mary, and Gus were all alive, and their lives were filled with challenges and triumphs. "You know, Will," Blood said, his tone becoming more serious, "there's a lot you don't know yet. About us, about the world, and even about yourself. But I have no doubt you'll discover it all in time. Just keep pushing forward, no matter what." Will nodded, feeling a mixture of determination and curiosity. "I will. I promise." The days leading up to the winter solstice were filled with a flurry of preparations. Will's training continued, but there was an added layer of ceremony and tradition as they prepared for his coming-of-age ritual. Mary, Blood, and Gus each imparted their final pieces of advice and wisdom, ensuring Will was as ready as he could be. On the day of the winter solstice, the air was crisp and filled with anticipation. Will stood before the altar, the ceremonial dagger in hand. The statues of the gods loomed above him, their expressions stern yet expectant. Mary stepped forward, her voice calm and steady. "Will, today you swear your oath and choose your guardian deity. This decision will guide you for the rest of your life. Choose wisely." Will took a deep breath, his mind racing with everything he had learned and experienced. He thought about the virtues and strengths of each god, about the guidance and protection they offered. Finally, he made his choice. I swear my oath to the Earth Mother, Mater, he declared. I vow to protect and nurture the land and its people, to use my strength and knowledge for the betterment of all. As the words left his lips, a warm, gentle presence enveloped him. It was as if Mater herself was acknowledging his vow, bestowing her blessing upon him. The statue seemed to glow softly, a sign of approval from the gods. Mary smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. I'm so proud of you, Will. That evening, the four of them gathered to celebrate Will's coming of age. The air was filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses as they shared stories and memories. It was a rare moment of joy and camaraderie, a testament to the bond they had formed. Gus pulled Will aside. I apologize for the secrecy and the burdens I've placed on you, he said quietly. There are reasons for everything, reasons you will come to understand in time. For now, just know that we are proud of you, and we believe in you. Say I'd kill you if you ever did that again. Blood chuckled. Yeah, I remember that. But look, it worked, didn't it? And it worked again today. Will, you did great. You've got guts and brains, just like I hoped. Will, still catching his breath, managed to smile. Thanks, Blood. I learned from the best. Mary approached with a stern but relieved expression. Will, are you all right? That was quite a display. I'm fine, Mary, Will assured her. Just a bit tired. Gus, who had been watching quietly, stepped forward. Will, I want you to remember this moment. You've proven your strength, your intelligence, and your courage. These are the qualities that will carry you far. Thank you, Gus, Will said, feeling a swell of pride. Now, let's get you cleaned up and ready for the next part of your coming-of-age ritual, Mary said, her voice softening. You've earned a bit of rest and celebration. The following day, the temple was filled with a quiet, reverent atmosphere as Will prepared for the final part of his coming-of-age ceremony. He stood before the altar, feeling the weight of the moment. Mary, Blood, and Gus stood by, watching him with pride and anticipation. Will took a deep breath and began to speak. I, Will, stand here today to swear my oath and choose my guardian deity. I have thought long and hard about this decision, and I have decided to swear my allegiance to the Earth Mother, Mater. I vow to protect and nurture the land and its people, to use my strength and knowledge for the betterment of all. As he finished his oath, a warm, comforting light enveloped him. He felt a profound sense of connection to Mater, as if she were acknowledging his vow and bestowing her blessing upon him. Mary stepped forward, her eyes shining with tears. Will, you have made us all very proud. Your journey is just beginning, but I know you will achieve great things. Blood clapped him on the back. You're a true warrior now, Will. Keep that courage and determination, and you'll go far. Gus nodded approvingly. Remember everything we've taught you. Knowledge, strength, and heart, you've got all three. Use them wisely. That evening, the four of them gathered for a final celebration. The air was filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses as they shared stories and memories. It was a bittersweet moment, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Will looked around at his family, Mary, Blood, and Gus, and felt a deep sense of gratitude. They had taught him so much and had shaped him into the person he was today. He knew he would carry their lessons and love with him wherever he went. As the night wore on, Will found himself standing outside, looking up at the stars. The future was uncertain, but he felt ready to face it. With Mater's blessing and the support of his family, he knew he could handle whatever came his way. Ready to take on the world, Will? Blood's voice came from behind him. Will turned and smiled. Yeah, I am. Thanks to all of you. Then let's get some rest, Gus said, joining them. Tomorrow is the start of your new journey. Mary appeared at Will's other side, her expression tender. Remember, no matter where you go or what you do, you will always have a home here with us. Will nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and sadness. I won't forget. Thank you, all of you, for everything. To me like this now. This sword, Overeater, once belonged to a mighty warrior who made a pact with a demon to gain unparalleled strength. It granted him power, but at a terrible cost. His mind and soul were gradually consumed by the blade. Eventually, he became a monster, driven by an insatiable hunger for life force. When we found him, he was beyond saving. We defeated him, and I took the blade, vowing to never let it fall into the wrong hands again. Blood paused, his eyes reflecting a mixture of pride and concern. Will, I trust you. You're not just my pupil, you're my son. I believe you can wield this blade without succumbing to its curse. But always remember, the true strength comes from within, not from a weapon. Will nodded, feeling the weight of the responsibility. I understand. I'll use it wisely. Mary stepped forward, placing a hand on Will's shoulder. We believe in you, Will. You've shown wisdom and courage beyond your years. Just promise us you'll never lose sight of who you are. I promise, Will said firmly. Thank you, both of you. For everything. As Will prepared to leave the temple and embark on his journey, he couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. He had trained for this moment for years, but stepping out into the world alone was a daunting prospect. Blood, Mary, and Gus stood at the entrance, ready to see him off. Blood handed Will a small, well-worn map. This should help you find your way. And remember, if you ever need us, we'll always be here for you. Mary hugged Will tightly. Stay safe, and don't forget to eat properly. I'll be worrying about you every day. Gus, with a rare serious expression, said, keep learning, Will. The world is vast and full of knowledge. And don't forget to enjoy the journey. Will took a deep breath, trying to steady his nerves. I will. Thank you, all of you. I'll make you proud. A short time against the High King's onslaught. Despite the efforts of many brave warriors, it eventually fell, and its inhabitants were either killed or driven away. The High King's forces ravaged the land, leaving destruction in their wake. The city you know as Ruins was once a thriving metropolis, a center of trade and culture. Our own story begins here, Blood continued, his voice heavy with the weight of memory. We were among the last defenders, fighting desperately to protect what remained of our world. Gus, Mary, and I were all formidable in our own right. Gus with his unparalleled magic, Mary with her divine blessings, and me with my skill in combat. We fought alongside other heroes, each of us trying to hold back the tide of darkness. Blood paused, his eyes distant as he relived those days. But the High King was relentless. His power was unlike anything we had ever seen. We managed to wound him, but each time we did, more demons were born from his blood. Our efforts seemed futile. One by one, our comrades fell. The city was lost, and we found ourselves among the last standing. Mary picked up the story, her voice softer but no less intense. We knew we couldn't defeat him through sheer force. We needed a different approach. We decided to use an ancient sealing ritual, one that would trap the High King and his army within the ruins. It was a desperate gamble, but it was our only hope. The ritual required immense power, Gus said, joining in. We called upon the gods, using every ounce of our strength and divine favor. The battle was fierce, but eventually, we succeeded in sealing the High King and his minions. However, the cost was high. The ritual's backlash was too much for our mortal bodies. We died that day, but our spirits were bound to this place, lingering on as guardians. Will listened in stunned silence, the magnitude of the tale sinking in. So, you all became undead to protect this place and to ensure the High King never escapes. Exactly, Blood affirmed. We've been here ever since, watching over the ruins and preventing any attempts to break the seal. And that's where you come in, Will. Me? Will asked, a mix of curiosity and apprehension in his voice. You were found as a baby in these ruins, Mary explained gently. We don't know how or why you were there, but it was clear you had a destiny tied to this place. We've raised you, trained you, and prepared you for the day when you would need to confront that destiny. Gus nodded. The time is approaching, Will. The seal won't hold forever. You have the potential to be a great hero, to finish what we started. Overeater, the High King's blade, is now in your hands. It chose you for a reason. Will took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their words. I understand. I'll do whatever it takes to protect this land and honor your legacy. Blood clapped a hand on his shoulder. We believe in you, Will. You've grown into a fine young man, stronger and wiser than any of us could have hoped. No matter what happens, remember that we're proud of you. Mary smiled, her eyes shining with pride and love. We'll always be with you, in spirit and in heart. You're not alone. Gus grinned, his usual humor masking a deeper sentiment. And hey, if you ever need advice or a sarcastic comment, you know where to find me. So Gus's plan was indeed ambitious and well thought out. He saw an opportunity to strike at the High King when the conditions were most favorable, using every resource available to him. However, despite their best efforts, they ultimately fell short. The High King's true power and resilience exceeded their expectations, and they were unable to defeat him. The High King's transformation into a grotesque warrior and his unmatched skill in combat proved to be insurmountable obstacles. Even with the combined efforts of Gus's magic, Mary's blessing, and Blood's combat prowess, they couldn't overcome the High King's strength. This failure left Gus questioning what they were lacking and whether there was anything more they could have done. But in the end, it was too late to change the outcome. The High King remained a formidable foe, and their attempt to defeat him ended in defeat. This revelation sheds light on the challenges and complexities of facing such a powerful adversary. Despite their best efforts and meticulous planning, victory was not guaranteed. And even for someone as skilled and resourceful as Gus, there were limits to what they could achieve. Their circumstances, their choices, and the consequences they faced. It's evident that they had to make difficult decisions to protect the world from the High King's menace. Gus and Blood's decision to seal the High King away instead of trying to defeat him outright shows their pragmatism and their willingness to sacrifice their personal desires for the greater good. Stagnate's offer to join him as undead reflects his desire to eliminate the unpredictability and suffering inherent in mortal life. By turning exceptional individuals like Gus, Blood, and Mary into undead beings, Stagnate sought to create a stagnant world where there would be no more tragedies. However, it's clear that Gus, Blood, and Mary didn't have much of a choice in the matter. Stagnate's power and influence were too great for them to resist, especially given the circumstances. The transformation of Gus into a ghost, Blood into a skeleton, and Mary into a mummy symbolizes the physical toll and the lasting effects of their decision to become undead. Each of them bears the scars of their past and the consequences of their actions. Despite their transformation and their duty to guard the seal, there's a sense of resignation and perhaps even regret in their story. They are bound by their contract and their duty to protect the city, unable to leave or explore the outside world. It's a somber reminder of the sacrifices they made and the heavy burden they carry as guardians of the seal. Multiple parts, things might have turned out differently. But I suppose that's just the way things go. You've certainly lived up to your reputation as a sage, even in your final moments. Thank you for everything, Gus. And Mary, thank you for your unwavering support and guidance. I'll never forget what you've done for me. As for you, Will, you've grown into a remarkable young man. I'm proud to have been able to watch you develop and mature. Take what you've learned from us and use it to forge your own path in the world. I have no doubt that you'll accomplish great things. And so, with that, I bid you farewell, my dear family. May you find peace and happiness wherever your journey takes you. You look like you've been through the ringer. But hey, that's life, right? We all make mistakes and have our regrets. The important thing is what you do next. You've realized your past mistakes, and that's the first step toward making things right. It's not easy to come to terms with the consequences of our actions, especially when they hurt the people we care about. But remember, it's never too late to change. You have the power to make amends and create a better future for yourself and those around you. Start by being honest with yourself and those you care about. Apologize for any pain you may have caused, and show them through your actions that you're committed to making things right. It won't happen overnight, but with determination and sincerity, you can rebuild trust and strengthen your relationships. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. You're not worthless trash, Will. You're a person who's trying their best to make things right, to learn and grow from their past mistakes. That takes courage and strength, even if you don't always see it in yourself. Remember, your worth isn't determined by your past or your mistakes. It's defined by who you are now and who you strive to become. Keep pushing forward, keep learning, and keep striving to be the best version of yourself. You have a family who loves you and believes in you. Lean on them for support, and together, you can overcome any challenge that comes your way. You're stronger than you think, Will. Believe in yourself. It seems like Will is facing a significant decision here, one that could have far-reaching consequences. On one hand, he's being offered a chance to join forces with Stagnate, the evil god, and potentially gain power and protection for himself and his family. On the other hand, he's also feeling a pull towards the goddess of light, representing virtue and goodness. This is a moment where Will's character is being tested. Does he choose the path of power and self-preservation, or does he choose the path of righteousness and virtue, even if it means facing greater challenges and uncertainties? It's a tough decision, and Will seems to be struggling with it. He's facing the temptation of power and security, but he also feels a sense of duty and responsibility towards doing what's right. Ultimately, the choice is his to make, and whatever decision he makes will shape the course of his journey and define the kind of person he becomes. Will's decision to reject Stagnate's offer and embrace the cycle of life and death is a powerful moment of self-realization and growth. It shows his understanding of the value of life, the importance of family, and the inevitability of death. By choosing to walk alongside the goddess of the cycle of death, he accepts the transient nature of existence and vows to live a life of purpose and meaning. His oath reflects his determination to protect and serve others, to banish evil, and to alleviate suffering. It's a declaration of his commitment to uphold virtues and fight against darkness, even if it means facing hardships and challenges along the way. Stagnate's disappointment underscores the significance of Will's choice. Despite the allure of power and immortality, Will remains steadfast in his principles and refuses to be swayed from his path. Stagnate's true target is Blood and Mary, not Will. His deception becomes clear as Will realizes that he was being cautious about his actions, not consumed by rage towards Will himself. Will understands that Stagnate's priority is to reach Blood, Mary, and then Gus, as they are the ones he truly seeks to harm. Despite borrowing the strength of the goddess of light and standing on even footing with Stagnate, Will falls for a trick and realizes that he won't reach his family in time. However, he also understands something profound about Mary and her relationship with the Earth Mother, Mater. Mater forgave Mary long ago, and Mary's devotion never wavered, leading Mater to continue watching over her and granting her divine blessing until Mary could forgive herself. With this realization, Will knows what he needs to do. He must protect Blood and Mary and guide them back into the cycle of death and rebirth, using the divine torch granted to him by the goddess of light. This means he has to confront Stagnate and use his magic more skillfully to erase his existence. My heart ached reading this, seeing Will's joy turn to sorrow as he realizes that Blood and Mary are reaching the end of their existence as undead guardians. Despite their desire to celebrate his victory and adulthood, the weight of their impending departure casts a shadow over the moment. The party atmosphere fades as the reality sinks in for Blood and Mary. They explain to Will that their time as undead guardians is coming to an end, and there's nothing that can be done to change it. They express their regrets but also their acceptance of the natural order of life and death. Will's desperation to keep his family together is palpable, but Blood and Mary gently remind him of the cycle of life and the importance of accepting it. They share a bittersweet moment of understanding, acknowledging the love and bond they share. Treasure the memories we shared and the lessons you taught me. I'll carry your love and guidance with me always, knowing that you'll be watching over me from wherever you are. Thank you for everything, Mary and Blood. I promise to live my life with sincerity, courage, and compassion, just like you taught me. And one day, when I return to this place, I'll bring with me the joy of my accomplishments and the warmth of my family. Suitable if you stop by to visit us from time to time. Okay, yeah, I almost forgot. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong if you pray well. See you then. Goodbye, William. Mary, Blood, take care. See you. Gus, goodbye. Guys, goodbye. I will definitely be back. Yes, see you later. Bye, Gus. I will be back. Always will be back as long as I do my best in the outside world so that when I return, it will be with a heart full pride. Do you think we should give him? How about we name him after someone we both admire? Someone strong, wise, and full of courage. How about we name him after Gus? That's a wonderful idea. Our son will carry on the legacy of his grandfather. Gus would be so proud. Yes, he would. Our little Gus will grow up to be just as strong and honorable as his namesake. It's settled then. Our son shall be named Gus. Gus, our little warrior. You can cook it right here. Let me start a fire with flint and steel. We can cook it right here on the riverbank. What are you doing? Wait, don't start a fire here. Why not? And you're trying to burn the whole forest down or something like that. If you're going to cook something, you should find a suitable place for it, like a clearing or something like that. Hey, you're pretty impressive with your hands. I should keep my magic a secret for now. So, now we just wait. Yeah, Earth Mother Matar and the virtuous gods, we give generous thanks for your grace. As we partake in this meal, please bless the food before us that it may robustly nourish our bodies and our souls. You really are devoted, huh? He doesn't seem to be much of a believer. But I'm the one with memories of my past life, while he seems closer to nature. Oh, it's so hot. Good stuff. This is the best, huh? So, you want directions? Well, the thing is, it's kind of hard to explain. I'm not sure how to put it. You don't look familiar. Seriously, where are you from? Telling him I was raised in the ruins by 3 undead probably wouldn't help things. I came here from the south. The south? Nothing is further south than this, bro, huh? We're as far south as you can go. Beastwoods and South Mark. I did come from the south, though. It's a long story. Oh, so you're one of those adventurers who scrounges for treasures in the ruins? Yeah, something like that. And then you got lost in the woods? I've never seen an adventurer who's so absent-minded. Whatever, just keep following the river downstream and you'll reach a small town in a couple of days. You'll figure it out from there. Thanks so much. Yeah, well, good luck. Hey, if it's on the way, do you think we can stop by the settlement that you're living in? I mean, no, I want nothing to do with you. Take a hint. Yeah, of course not. Who'd want a total stranger in armor like this following them home? I'm sorry I asked. You better not follow me. Will you be okay with no light? Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. What are those, fairies? I've never seen them. They say elves, as followers of the goddess of Fae, have a strong affinity with other Fae minions. I guess that goes for him too. Later. My name's Will. William G. Merryblood. What's your name? Metal. Short for Manelder. Not that we'll ever see each other again. Try not to die on the road. Manelder? An elvish name, I think that means a very fast-flying eagle. He was a bit abrupt, but it was fun talking to him. He looked around my age, but they say half-elves are long-lived, so in reality, he might be a lot older than me. Alright, I should be close to a town. If I'll be getting more soon, I might as well indulge tonight. Tomorrow, I'll start by heading downriver to the town. After that, I'll try to get some information there. O light, my heavenly light, as you travel, I pray strongly for thee. Bring light to the faraway darkness. Be blessed. I don't know, was that a divine revelation? Lumen? A tragedy is about to befall a nearby village, and Metal is going to be caught up in it. In Benitez Way, there it is. Did I make it in time? Erasus? I thought I saw something shining in the forest right now. Sure you weren't just seeing things? Thank goodness. If I tell them I know Metal. Quick, hide. Get behind me, hurry up. Are they raiders? Will the village be attacked? Will he get caught up in disaster? No, a divine revelation is up to the interpreter. Oh no, it can't be. How could I have been such an ignorant fool? Manelder isn't the victim of this tragedy, he's the perpetrator. It seems like there's a tense situation unfolding in the aftermath of the attack on the village. Emotions are running high, and there's a desire for justice, but also a need to understand the motives behind the attack. The warrior priest, William, plays a crucial role in maintaining order and seeking the truth. It's a challenging situation with no easy answers, but it's important to approach it with wisdom and compassion. Warrior priest, it was I who deceived these people. Please let them go. I am begging you. Village head, there is no way we can do this. Guard, come on, just hang them all. Warrior priest, stop. They owe this hunter, and I sympathize with the people of your village, but we have no choice but to hang them. If you let them go, they will start robbing again. They must be killed for the safety of the village. This is a reasonable decision. Village leader, but my mother taught me to love others unconditionally and always do good deeds, and my father told me to move forward with faith in the results and not to be so nervous that you freeze in place. I still carry their words in my heart. Warrior priest, sorry, I'll turn this hopeless situation around. Can this be solved with money? Do you know what monetary compensation is? Village head, of course we do. But who can pay for it? These guys are completely broke. Warrior priest, I can pay. Villager, warrior priest, why are you suggesting this? Warrior priest, because demons are my sworn enemies. They killed my parents. In addition, I swore an oath to the goddess of light to drive out evil and save the suffering. We must help those who have suffered at the hands of demons. We cannot allow a village overrun by demons to exist. I will go and fight them. In fact, I want to hire this young man to accompany me. He is an excellent hunter and knows this forest. I will need his talents to find and fight the demons. And I can pay generously. Village leader, are you sure you want to do this? It seems that this only benefits us. Warrior priest, this is a reward for your exemplary behavior. The gracious goddess of light, who rules souls in the cycle of death and rebirth, always looks at your daily life with her compassionate eyes. Villager, then let's untie them. Warrior priest, okay, I was able to change all that. At least that's what I think. I had the feeling that somewhere some god was smiling at me. The villagers begin to untie the prisoners. The village returns to life. One of the prisoners approaches the warrior priest. Prisoner, so, are you going to tell me what you're really up to? Warrior priest, I have nothing to hide. I meant what I said. Prisoner, because you're a warrior priest? Warrior priest, well, I almost forgot. I know it's late, but you'll let me hire you to take me back to the village and destroy the demons, right? Prisoner, are you asking this of the one who instigated the raid and murder? Shouldn't I be punished? Warrior priest, I have already settled your death by paying reparations. Besides, this was the only way to help people who were starving, right? Prisoner, has it ever occurred to you that I might betray you? Warrior priest, if you do this, the people of the neighboring village will suffer. Prisoner, you're too damn kind. One day it will destroy you. It seems like William's compassion and sense of justice prevailed in the end, leading to a resolution that avoided further bloodshed. By offering to pay reparations and hiring the young man to help him fight the demons, he not only upheld his oath to the goddess of light but also demonstrated his commitment to helping those in need. Despite the young man's past actions, William chose to see the potential for redemption and gave him a chance to make amends. This decision reflects William's belief in forgiveness and second chances, even in the face of wrongdoing. Former prisoner, you will be torn apart and thrown to your death. Well, I'll be very careful. Warrior priest, okay, I'm sure I can work for you. I really need money. Former prisoner, great, thank you. And what are you going to do in the near future, Mr. Chief? Warrior priest, our task is that the demons have occupied the neighboring village. I guess we'll just have to attack them. We have little time. Former prisoner, what are you even talking about? Are you crazy? There are many of them there, and they have demonic beasts. Do you have a plan? What are our chances? Warrior priest, everything will be fine, I'm used to such situations. Former prisoner, okay, you're right, we need to hurry. Suddenly the dead have already turned into undead. If this is true, I need to get them back into the loop before they get lost and stuck here. Warrior priest, let's go here. Can we go through here? Former prisoner, oh, this is a perfect place to spend the night. Dear green ones, give us shelter, a bed of grass, the blood of trees and strength for unexpected guests. Warrior priest, wow, that's not that hard. Former prisoner, you're so silent. Did I do something wrong? Warrior priest, didn't grow up very well. I hate to associate with people like you, but don't worry, I will do my job and give you your due. Former prisoner, I didn't say I grew up particularly well. We will reach the village by morning. Remember, I will only take you. I won't fight demons next to you. Warrior priest, I know. This is fine. Shouldn't we keep a guard? Former captive, the fairies will take care of that. They'll wake us up if something happens. Warrior priest, hey, why don't we chat for a bit? I'm tired. Former prisoner, if you want to chat, do it yourself, I'm tired. Warrior priest, I wonder how much time has passed since I began my travels. One thing is clear, this is my first night spent with someone else since I left. Former prisoner, ruins, huh? Former stones and so on are quite useful for building new things. Warrior priest, the village is very close. They are here. Former prisoner, yes, I'll go and explore this place. You stay here. Warrior priest, ritual? In the ruins of a village temple? Damn demons. What does the temple look like and how are they organized? Former prisoner, they formed a circle in the center to perform their ritual. There are two commanders with lizard faces. I forgot their name. Vraskus, yes, maybe something like that. And what else? They have several soldiers patrolling around the temple. I know that there is at least one demonic beast inside the temple. Warrior priest, what does a demonic beast look like? Former captive, he has a human-like head, a lion's body, and bat-like wings. This is a manticore. Warrior priest, you know these guys already? Former prisoner, studied them a bit. But I'm glad that there aren't so many of them. Up any stragglers and secure the area. It seems like William's plan worked out well, and they were able to defeat the demons and liberate the village. Despite Herrera's initial reluctance to fight, he eventually joined in when he saw the opportunity for victory. William's calm demeanor and strategic thinking helped them overcome the odds, showing that even against powerful adversaries, careful planning and determination can lead to success. Now, they just need to ensure the safety of the villagers and restore peace to the area. Under attack by demons, with characters like Mino's brother, a boy who remains strong during the attack, and another character who seems to be good friends with Mino's brother. Also mentioned is the goddess of light and a ghost close to the highest rank. Of the rest, you can trust William to guide you to where you need to be. Thank you, Marple. I'll take it from here. Goodbye, and may you find peace in the cycle of rebirth. It seems like Marple's soul was finally at peace, thanks to William's assistance. Now, they can focus on ensuring the safety and well-being of the remaining villagers. With demons defeated and lost souls returned to the cycle, there's hope for a brighter future for the village. Mental, who felt guilty and conflicted, struggles with his past actions and the loss of the village. Marple, the ghost, seems to offer him guidance and encourage him to take advantage of the second chance he has been given. It is a powerful moment of redemption and acceptance. Of course, Marple. I'll make sure he's taken care of. Thank you for your guidance, and may your soul find eternal peace. As for you, Mental, it's time to embrace this second chance you've been given. Let go of the past and start anew. The path ahead may not be easy, but with faith and determination, you can find redemption and live a meaningful life. You're not alone in this journey. I'll be here to support you every step of the way. Cursed or something, but Marple was different. She took me in when no one else would. She didn't care about any of that. She was always so kind and understanding. Even though she had her own troubles, she taught me everything I know about surviving in the forest, and she always encouraged me to believe in myself and make the most of my abilities. She was like a mother to me in every sense of the word. I owe her everything. And now she's gone. Hey Mental, it's okay, she may be gone, but her memory lives on in you, right? Yeah, you're right. I'll make sure her memory lives on in everything I do from now on. And you, William, I'll be counting on you to help me with that. Of course, Mental, I'll be right by your side every step of the way. Together we'll honor Marple's memory and make sure her kindness and wisdom continue to guide us both through whatever challenges lie ahead. Marple's departure adds another layer of emotion to the scene, with Mental reflecting on her passing and the advice she gave him. It's clear that she had a significant impact on him, and her parting words serve as a reminder for him to continue moving forward despite the darkness around him. The return of the villagers and their decision to hold a party to honor their village and acknowledge Mental's role in reclaiming it adds a sense of closure and community to the story. It's a moment of resilience and unity in the face of tragedy. The conversation between Mental and his companion about the undead nest and Mental's determination to return the souls to the cycle highlights his sense of duty and compassion, despite his own struggles. It also reveals more about his background and the challenges he has faced throughout his life. Overall, these exchanges deepen the characterization and world building in the story, weaving together themes of loss, redemption, and the enduring human spirit. That's a tough situation. We'll need to figure out a plan. Maybe we can gather some resources from nearby villages, explain our situation, and ask for assistance. We can offer our services in return for the help we need. It won't be easy, but we'll find a way to rebuild. As for the thieves, we'll have to track them down and make sure they face justice. It might take time, but we won't rest until we've set things right. And about your newfound friendship, I'm glad to hear that. Having someone you can trust and rely on makes all the difference, doesn't it? Had in mind for you to revitalize her faith in this region by helping those in need and spreading her light through your actions. It won't be an easy task, but with your dedication and the support of those around you, I believe you can make a difference. And who knows, maybe along the way, you'll find more genuine friends like Metal who will stand by your side in your journey. Metal seems to be always up for adventure and eager to explore ruins. And it is good to hear that the village has enough funds to restore and replenish its resources. Regarding the encounter with the halfling and the hawk, it seemed that Metal's confidence and approach helped defuse the situation without having to fight. It's definitely a win-win. Metal and William met on their way back to White Sails. Rabina, also known as B, is a rather lively troubadour, while Antonio, or Tony, seems to have a more laid-back personality. BEA's outgoing personality and Tony's gentle demeanor complement each other well, creating a dynamic duo. And it's interesting to see how they all interact with Metal and William, especially given Metal's background as a hunter and William's role as a priest. It looks like their journey is about to get even more fulfilling with these new companions. Nothing but memories. It's fascinating to learn more about Blood's past and the experiences that shaped him into the person he is today. His companions, Metal and William, seem intrigued by his background, and it's clear that there's a strong bond forming between them as they continue their journey together. With each passing village and encounter, they're not only earning money but also gaining valuable insights into each other's lives and the world around them. And now, as they settle down for the night and enjoy B's performance, they have a moment to reflect on their shared experiences and the adventures that lie ahead. It seems like Blood and his companions stumbled upon a tale that resonated deeply with them, evoking emotions and memories of their own past adventures. The story of the three heroes, though slightly embellished, still holds significance for them, serving as a reminder of the bonds they've formed and the impact they've had on the world around them. As they continue their journey, they're reminded of the legacy they've left behind and the lives they've touched along the way. And with the promise of new adventures and encounters awaiting them across the sea, they're filled with anticipation for the stories that are yet to unfold. It seems Tonio's curiosity about Will's desires stems from his role as a merchant, always seeking to understand people's needs and wishes. Will's response reveals his journey of loss and newfound purpose under the protection of the Goddess of Light. Despite his noble demeanor and divine affiliation, he longs for genuine companionship and the chance to explore the world and discover his own desires. Tonio's offer to be Will's friend reflects his warm and understanding nature, recognizing the importance of companionship on their shared journey. Ethelbald's presence in White Sails, it seems that the situation remains stable for now. However, the political landscape could shift if tensions escalate between Prince Owen and the opposing lords. It's a precarious situation, but for the time being, Southmark seems relatively unaffected. It seems like Ethel's leadership has brought stability and prosperity to White Sails, emphasizing economic growth and maintaining a sense of freedom for its residents and visitors. The city's policies regarding entry and trade reflect a balance between security and commerce, allowing goods to flow freely while still implementing measures to prevent smuggling and ensure safety. The contrast between the practical considerations of governance and the desire for exploration and enjoyment, as expressed by the characters, adds depth to the setting and the dynamics between them. It's a nice touch to see the characters' different perspectives and priorities, which can lead to interesting interactions and decisions as they navigate through the city. As they set out to explore White Sails for the first time, there's potential for them to encounter various aspects of the city's culture, economy, and perhaps even uncover some unexpected secrets or challenges along the way. It's an exciting opportunity for them to immerse themselves in this new environment and further develop their characters and relationships. A mixture of awe and wonder as you explore the bustling city of White Sails. Advances in technology and infrastructure, such as street lights powered by magical apprentices and a public bathhouse that uses words of purification, are particularly fascinating to them. The characters' reactions and observations provide insight into the city's culture and lifestyle. For example, the importance of street lamps not only as sources of illumination but also as training grounds for apprentice sorcerers highlights the integration of magic into everyday tasks. Likewise, the public bath demonstrates the skillful use of magic to maintain cleanliness and hygiene without excessive consumption of resources. While enjoying the city's delicious food and preparing to visit the temple, the characters become even more immersed in the cultural and religious aspects of White Sails. Their conversations and interactions reveal their individual backgrounds and perspectives, adding depth to their characters and the narrative as a whole. Overall, the exploration of White Sails gives the characters the opportunity not only to discover new facets of the world around them, but also to reflect on their own experiences and beliefs. The interaction at the temple reveals the complexities of religious practices and the skepticism surrounding individuals claiming divine protection. The characters navigate through protocols and suspicions, highlighting the tensions between faith, authority, and the practicalities of a world threatened by external forces like demon attacks. Will's earnest desire to pay his respects to the goddess Gracefield contrasts with the temple's cautious approach due to the rarity of priests dedicated to the goddess of light. The vice-bishop's abrupt appearance adds a layer of tension, reflecting the temple's concern for security amidst rising threats. Bart Bagley, the temple's overseer, exemplifies the skepticism and responsibility that come with his position, emphasizing the seriousness of divine protection and the need for genuine devotion rather than mere claims. His interrogation of Will underscores the temple's commitment to discerning true believers from potential threats. Will's understanding of the teachings of the Goddess of Light reflects his sincerity and commitment, despite his novice status. His humility in acknowledging his lack of experience and willingness to learn demonstrates his character's growth and integrity. Overall, the scene captures the intricacies of faith, authority, and trust within the context of a world plagued by external dangers, setting the stage for further exploration of these themes as the narrative unfolds. The sudden emergency at the guild banquet adds a sense of urgency and danger to the scene, disrupting the characters' plans and thrusting them into a crisis situation. The appearance of the wyvern and the chaos it brings highlight the precariousness of their world, where even moments of celebration can quickly turn into moments of peril. Will's impulsive reaction to the threat, using high-level magic in a blind fury, showcases his inexperience and the dangers of recklessness in combat situations. However, his willingness to learn and adapt, as demonstrated by his willingness to seek guidance from Metal and utilize his minor magic more skillfully, shows growth and resilience in the face of adversity. The exchange between Will and Metal underscores the importance of strategy and cooperation in facing formidable opponents like the Wyvern. Metal's guidance and Will's determination to protect the temple and its inhabitants highlight their commitment to their cause and their willingness to put themselves at risk for the greater good. The scene sets the stage for further development of the characters' skills, relationships, and challenges as they navigate through the ongoing threat of demon attacks and the complexities of their world. It emphasizes the importance of teamwork, resourcefulness, and adaptability in overcoming obstacles and protecting their community. The intense battle against the Wyvern showcases the characters' courage, teamwork, and resourcefulness in the face of danger. Will's determination to protect the temple and its inhabitants, coupled with Metal's guidance and support, highlights their growth and resilience as they confront formidable adversaries. The use of magic and combat skills demonstrates the characters' abilities and strategic thinking, with each contributing to the fight in their own way. Will's realization of his own potential as a wyvern killer and his gratitude towards Metal for their assistance reflect his humility and appreciation for their partnership. The aftermath of the battle, with the characters being hailed as heroes and summoned by the Crown Prince, introduces new opportunities and challenges for them as they navigate their newfound fame and responsibilities. Will's sense of humility and disbelief at being recognized as a hero contrasts with the expectations placed upon him by others, setting the stage for further character development and exploration of themes such as duty, honor, and identity. The dialogue between Will and the Crown Prince delves into their respective roles and actions during the Wyvern attack, shedding light on their abilities and contributions to the battle. Will's reluctance to disclose his origins adds an air of mystery to his character, while the Crown Prince's keen observation and acknowledgement of their accomplishments highlight his astuteness and gratitude. The exchange also reveals the prince's concern for the welfare of his people and his willingness to offer rewards for valor and bravery. Will's request for assistance in combating the demon threat demonstrates his altruism and sense of duty, as well as his recognition of the broader dangers facing the kingdom. However, the prince's response underscores the challenges and complexities of addressing such threats, particularly the widespread presence of demon beasts and the toxic miasma they emit. The discussion hints at larger geopolitical tensions and the ongoing struggle to maintain peace and security in the region. The conversation between Will and the Crown Prince delves into the complexities of governance, responsibility, and the consequences of their actions. The prince's concerns about the kingdom's overextension and the challenges of protecting its territories reflect the weight of leadership and the difficult decisions he faces. Will's request to organize an army to combat the demon threat showcases his bravery and determination to address the looming danger, despite the risks involved. However, the prince's caution and skepticism highlight the potential ramifications of such a venture, both politically and strategically. The tension in the scene is palpable as both parties weigh their options and the potential outcomes of their decisions. Will's recognition of the prince's authority and his willingness to accept the consequences of his request demonstrate his integrity and commitment to his cause. The prince's subtle warning about the consequences of failure adds a sense of urgency and stakes to the conversation, underscoring the gravity of the situation and the risks involved in challenging the status quo. The dialogue between Will and the Crown Prince escalates as Will passionately pleads his case for permission to undertake his mission against the demon threat. Will's conviction to carry the flame of the Goddess of Light into the darkness and his willingness to confront despair head-on demonstrate his bravery and sense of duty. The prince's skepticism and concern for Will's well-being highlight the potential risks and consequences of such a dangerous undertaking. Despite his warnings, Will remains resolute in his determination to confront despair and make a difference, even if it means paying a personal price. The conversation between Bishop Bagley and Metal highlights the tensions and power dynamics within the temple, as well as Metal's protective instincts towards Will. Bagley's disappointment with Will's actions and Metal's defiance highlight the challenges of maintaining discipline and order within the temple hierarchy. Bagley's offer to officially name Will a knight and potentially share power with the temple reflects his recognition of Will's abilities and his desire to use them for the greater good. However, Metal's skepticism and concerns about the speed of decision-making highlight the need for careful consideration and discussion, especially given the potential consequences. Bagley and his willingness to use Will's abilities to achieve his own goals, despite his initial doubts. Metal's defiance and willingness to challenge Bagley's authority highlight his loyalty to Will and his desire to protect him from harm. The conversation between Anna, the head of the temple, and Metal sheds light on their respective backgrounds and relationships with Bishop Bagley. Anna's explanation of her connection to the bishop and the history of their relocation adds depth to their characters and provides insight into the dynamics within the temple. Anna's acknowledgement of Metal's intervention with the Crown Prince demonstrates her gratitude and awareness of the potential consequences of their actions. Despite her initial hostility towards Metal, she ultimately recognizes the importance of respecting the prince's authority while also defending the temple's autonomy. Metal's revelation about his origins as an ancient being from 200 years in the past adds an intriguing twist to the conversation and raises questions about his true identity and abilities. Anna's decision to provide him with guidance and education in the temple's practices reflects her commitment to his development and integration within the temple community. The exchange also highlights Anna's formidable presence and expertise in matters of divine protection and prayer, further establishing her as a respected figure within the temple hierarchy. Metal's acknowledgement of her mastery and his willingness to learn from her underscores their mutual respect and the potential for collaboration in the future. Anna's explanation sheds light on the complexities of divine blessings and their proper use. She emphasizes the importance of humility and selflessness in wielding such powers, highlighting the need to align one's actions with the ideals and wishes of the gods. By refraining from openly displaying or using his blessing for personal gain, Anna's father, the head of the temple, maintains the integrity of his divine protection and ensures that the glory is rightfully attributed to the gods. Her criticism of Bishop Bagley's behavior, despite acknowledging his talents, underscores her commitment to upholding the principles of the temple and her reluctance to compromise on matters of faith and morality. She cautions against Will's advancement to paladin status, citing his novice status and lack of understanding of the true meaning of divine blessings. Her willingness to refuse the Crown Prince's proposal on Will's behalf reflects her protective instincts and her desire to prevent him from making a potentially detrimental decision. The dialogue captures the essence of a recruitment scene in a rough-and-tumble adventurer's pub. Will's earnest plea for help in exploring Beast Woods contrasts with the skeptical and mercenary attitudes of the seasoned adventurers. The exchange highlights the different motivations and perspectives at play among those who make a living through adventuring. The adventurers' emphasis on glory, prestige, and battle spoils reflects their hardened, pragmatic approach to their profession. They are not swayed by Will's offer of low pay and uncertain rewards, preferring instead the tangible rewards of demon beast horns and hides. Will's insistence on finding adventurers willing to risk their lives for the sake of adventure and battle underscores his idealism and determination to confront the dangers lurking in Beast Woods, even at great personal risk. His search for companions who embody the spirit of true adventurers resonates with the notion of noble heroism and selfless bravery. The banter and camaraderie among the adventurers add depth to the scene, conveying the gritty and lively atmosphere of the pub. Despite their gruff exterior, there is a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect among them, as evidenced by their playful teasing and banter. The conversation touches on various topics, from the impending ceremony to honor the new hero to negotiating deals for livestock and starting a trade movement between Beast Woods and White Sails. There's a sense of practicality and forward thinking as they discuss business matters and potential collaborations. Will's reluctance to have an epic written about his story hints at his modesty and perhaps a desire to avoid unnecessary attention. However, B's enthusiasm to create something grand reflects a desire to commemorate Will's achievements and perhaps inspire others. The interaction between Will and B also reveals their dynamic and differing perspectives. Will's skepticism about flaunting accomplishments and B's determination to celebrate them highlight contrasting attitudes towards recognition and humility. The mention of Ryastav, the restorer, adds another layer to the conversation, hinting at past interactions and potential future collaborations. The conversation delves into the nuances of reputation and storytelling within the realm of adventuring. There's a playful banter between the characters, particularly regarding the ambiguity and embellishments often found in tales of heroism. Will expresses a desire for more truth in storytelling, while B seeks to capture the essence of real experiences. The discussion about Race Dog's reputation highlights the impact of perception and interpretation on a hero's legacy. Race Dog's swift and solitary approach to his missions leaves little room for detailed accounts, resulting in tales that are both impressive and enigmatic. The mention of a potential showdown between the Penetrator and the Paladins adds a layer of excitement and anticipation to the conversation. Will's promise to turn the event into a song speaks to the enduring power of storytelling in preserving and immortalizing heroic deeds. The closing prayer for Will's continued protection and guidance emphasizes the importance of upholding one's oath and serving as a beacon of light in the world. There's a sense of gratitude expressed towards the Vice Bishop for his blessing, highlighting the respect and reverence towards religious figures in the community. The mention of the bishop's reluctance to show his pious side adds depth to his character, hinting at complexities beyond his public persona. Despite his reservations, the Vice Bishop takes on the responsibility with honor, showcasing his dedication to his duties. The interaction between Will and Metal showcases their friendship, with Will correcting the assumption that Metal is his servant and affirming their bond. This moment highlights the importance of mutual respect and understanding among companions on their journey. After obtaining official permission from both the Crown Prince and the Temple, my rowdy team of adventurers and I embarked on a mission to eradicate the dangerous demons and demon beasts that plagued Beast Woods. We were accompanied by human helpers and essential supplies, vital for the impoverished villages in the area. As we approached a village, I couldn't help but recognize the transformative power of access to supplies. Even if it meant incurring a debt initially, the village's productivity would eventually lead to profit. Antonio demonstrated remarkable skill in managing these logistical challenges, while Tonio secured funding through donations and contributions. In the midst of our journey, I found myself contemplating future endeavors. The idea of becoming the head of a trading company intrigued me, and Anna's encouragement fueled my aspirations. Despite engaging in what appeared to be charitable work, I remained mindful of my loyalty to the Crown Prince and the Temple. Upon our return, Bishop Bagley assigned a team of experienced priests to assist me, including Anna. They were proficient in utilizing the blessing and capable of leading ceremonies, such as festivals and funerals. Meanwhile, I awaited the return of Ryastov's party, who ventured out to confront demons and demon beasts upon receiving reports of their sightings. Their exploits were legendary, particularly Ryastov's ability to dispatch foes with a single fatal blow, earning him the moniker, the Penetrator. Reflecting on my newfound responsibilities, I found myself unexpectedly thrust into the role of an arbitrator, mediating disputes between villagers and striving for peaceful resolutions. Despite not intending to assume such a role initially, word of my intervention spread, leading to more requests for assistance. In these endeavors, B emerged as a valuable ally, facilitating communication and aiding in the dissemination of messages. A really big help, and so we traveled back and forth across Beast Woods time and time again. The atmosphere is so different now, this whole area has become relatively safe, so it's getting a lot more merchant traffic. A village that once had a dark cloud hanging over it is now full of life and smiles. Gus, I finally understand now, money is extremely important. Money is what makes the entire world go round. With money, you can solve anything, without magic. You can buy tools, hire help, and the ability to make a profit is just as important as magic. Everything you taught me was exactly right. Making people smile and giving them hope is more magical than actual magic. And then, just as we were noticing the first signs of summer approaching. What is it? Pip's party went west to do some recon, and they haven't come back yet. So, how long were they planning to spend? No more than 10 days investigating, but it's 2 days past that. Pip and his party, they're very talented hunters. All right then, we'll go and search for them. You, Mental, and I are definitely going to go. Do you think you could put together 2 parties? They need to excel in forest exploration skills. I'll gather them right away. There's a chance they didn't get lost but instead wound up in the demon's base. And if that's the case, there will be a battle. What do you think? Frankly, given the skills Pip and his buddies have, it's hard to believe that they could have just gotten lost. So, you believe the demons were probably behind this then? I think there's a good chance of that. If we beat them, things should settle down here too. I just hope that they're all right. Hey, Will. Huh. I should say thank you. Oh, for what? For a whole lot of things. I just have a feeling that I would have hit rock bottom if it hadn't been for you. It's thanks to you that I'm here now and that I actually have a respectable reason for living my life. So, well, I owe you my thanks. Oh, no, I should thank you. I knew nothing of the world, and you saved me. But you know what? Is it? You could look at me when you say it. Shut up. Hey, it's huge. So, what made this? I don't know. It looks even bigger than a manticore. Maybe a stray living in the valley or, well, at least they died fighting a big one. Pip, Harvey, and Brennan must have been pretty happy about that. Although, I guess they had a good reason to be pissed off too. Yeah, like we didn't get to kill it. They died a good death, worthy of adventurers. Go on, drink up, virtuous gods. Please grant rest to their weary souls. Graceful goddess of light, I beg you, please grant them peace and guidance. Up yet, but his wounds have been tended to and he's stable for now. You did well, Will. You saved him. I feel so relieved. I was terrified that I might lose him. Thank you for carrying us back. Don't mention it. It's what we do for each other. Now, we need to focus on regrouping and planning our next move. The situation with those chimeras is more dangerous than we anticipated. We need to be better prepared. Failed goddess of light, I entreat you, please shine this healing light down upon these wicked wounds and fantasy shadows. Please, please just open your eyes. No, don't go, no, please don't leave me. My head feels fuzzy. I guess it's because I used the Demon Blade's power. But I have to help Metal. Agreed. We can't let our guard down again. Let's rest and recover for now, and once everyone's ready, we'll figure out how to deal with those creatures effectively. Will, take it easy. You've done more than enough for now. Your strength and your connection to the goddess have saved us, but you need to take care of yourself too. Alright, I'll rest. But as soon as I'm able, I want to check on Metal and help with the planning. We need to finish what we started. We'll get through this together. For now, just focus on recovering. We'll take it one step at a time. I overestimated his capabilities and underestimated the danger we were facing. I put him in a position where he could have died because I trusted him too much without properly assessing the situation. Will, listen to me. Everyone makes mistakes, even the most experienced warriors and leaders. The important thing is to learn from them and not to let them consume you. You saved Metal's life with your quick thinking and the power of your blessing. That's what matters now. But what if I keep making mistakes like this? What if next time I can't save someone? You can't let fear paralyze you. You've proven time and time again that you have the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to lead and protect others. Learn from this, improve your strategies, and move forward. Your companions rely on you, and you rely on them. It's a bond of trust and mutual respect. You're right. I need to be stronger, not just physically but mentally and emotionally as well. I need to understand my limits and those of my companions better. Thank you for your support and advice. We're all in this together, Will. Take the time you need to rest and recover. We'll handle things for now. When you're ready, we'll face whatever comes next, together. Okay. I'll rest a bit longer, but please keep me updated on Metal's condition and our next steps. We need to be prepared for whatever comes next. Of course, we'll keep you informed. Just focus on getting your strength back. We'll get through this, one step at a time. I realize that I need to accept my own strength and the responsibilities that come with it. I have to stop pretending I'm just like everyone else because the reality is, I'm not. My power is a gift from the goddess, and it comes with a duty to protect and lead, not to seek comfort or companionship at the expense of others' safety. As I looked at Metal, lying there, still unconscious but stable, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I would no longer hide from my true potential or the role I was meant to play. I had to become the leader and protector that this world needed, even if it meant standing apart from others. I promise you, Metal, I whispered, I'll get stronger. I'll become someone worthy of the trust you've placed in me. I'll protect everyone, and I'll make sure no one else has to suffer because of my mistakes. Antonio placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. We believe in you, Will. You've already done so much for us. We'll support you every step of the way. Yeah, Bea added, her usual cheeriness tempered with a rare seriousness. You've got us, no matter what. We know you're strong, but it's okay to lean on us too, you know? I nodded, feeling a warmth spread through me. They might not be my equals in strength, but they were my friends, and that was invaluable. I would cherish and protect them, using my power to ensure their safety and the safety of everyone who needed it. Anna arrived soon after with the other priests, bringing additional healing and support. With their help, Metal's condition improved rapidly, and he woke up a few days later, still weak but on the mend. When he finally opened his eyes, I was there by his side. Hey, Metal. How are you feeling? He blinked, groggy but aware. Will. I'm alive. Yeah, you are, I said, smiling. Thanks to everyone here. And I'm sorry, Metal. I made a mistake, but I promise, I'll learn from it. I'll make sure nothing like this happens again. He looked at me for a long moment, then nodded slowly. I trust you, Will. Just, don't carry all the weight alone. I squeezed his hand. I won't. We'll carry it together. Me on this journey with you. So, stop trying to carry all this weight on your own, Will. We're in this together, remember? Metal's words cut through my haze of determination and self-reproach. His stubbornness, his resilience, and his unwavering loyalty were like a mirror reflecting my own misguided attempts to shoulder everything alone. I realized then that true strength wasn't just about being able to fight and win battles alone. It was about accepting help, sharing burdens, and recognizing the value of those who stood by your side. You're right, Metal, I said, my voice trembling slightly. I'm sorry. I was so caught up in my own fears and responsibilities that I forgot what it means to have comrades, to have friends. He nodded, a faint smile touching his lips despite the pain he must have been in. Damn right. Now, let's go back. We'll figure this out together, with everyone. I helped him to his feet, supporting his weight as we made our way back to the village. Antonio and Bea were waiting for us, their faces lighting up with relief when they saw Metal was all right. Will, you stubborn idiot, Bea scolded, though there was no real anger in her voice. You really think you can just run off and do everything alone? He's learning, Metal said, a hint of amusement in his tone. Anna and the other priests took over from there, tending to Metal and making sure he was comfortable. I stayed by his side, holding his hand, as the weight of my earlier decisions settled on my shoulders. That night, as I sat by the campfire with my friends, I felt a sense of peace. We talked and laughed, recounting stories of our travels and battles. It was in these moments, surrounded by those who cared for me and whom I cared for, that I found my true strength. In the days that followed, we continued our mission, but with a renewed sense of unity and purpose. I no longer tried to carry everything on my own. I leaned on my friends, trusted their abilities, and we worked together as a team. The dangers we faced were still great, but we faced them together, and that made all the difference. As for the Chimera, it was a formidable foe, but with our combined strength, we eventually brought it down. The victory was not mine alone, it belonged to all of us. Each one of us played a crucial role, and that triumph was a testament to our bond. I knew then that the goddess had blessed me not just with power, but with the gift of friendship and camaraderie. And that was a blessing I would cherish and protect with all my heart. From that point on, I vowed to never forget the lesson I had learned. True strength lies not in standing alone, but in standing together. Do this. The tension was palpable, but there was also a shared sense of determination and camaraderie among us. This time, we were prepared, and we were ready to face the Chimera and whatever other demonic forces might be lurking. As we made our final preparations, I took a moment to speak with Antonio and B. Antonio, I need you to handle the logistics and ensure we have enough supplies for everyone. B, your role will be crucial in rallying the morale of our fighters and keeping everyone coordinated. You got it, Will, Antonio replied with a nod. I'll make sure everything runs smoothly on our end. B gave me a reassuring smile. We'll get through this together, Will. Just remember, we're all here to support each other. I turned to Metal, who was sharpening his blade. Metal, how are you feeling? He looked up, determination shining in his eyes. I'm ready, Will. Let's take this beast down and show it what we're made of. With our plan set, we moved out, our forces arrayed in a tight formation. The priests, including Anna, took their positions, ready to provide support and healing as needed. The scouts had given us a clear idea of the enemy's location, and we approached with caution. The first sign of trouble came when we heard a low growl echoing through the trees. The Chimera was near, and it knew we were coming. We pressed on, weapons at the ready, until we finally caught sight of the beast. It was even more terrifying than I remembered, its three heads snarling and snapping, its massive body rippling with muscle and dark magic. Now! I shouted, and our front line surged forward. The battle was fierce and chaotic, with the Chimera lashing out with all its might. But this time, we were ready. Metal and I coordinated our attacks, striking at its weak points, while the rest of our forces kept it distracted. The priests chanted blessings and cast healing spells, keeping our fighters on their feet. Antonio's logistical expertise ensured that we had a steady supply of arrows, potions, and other essential items. We moved among the troops, shouting encouragement and rallying spirits whenever anyone faltered. The Chimera fought with savage intensity, but we were relentless. We pressed our advantage, using our numbers and coordination to wear it down. Finally, with a coordinated strike from Metal and me, we severed its central head, and the beast collapsed with a final, anguished roar. As the Chimera fell, a cheer went up from our forces. The remaining demon beasts, sensing their leader's defeat, fled into the forest, and we did not pursue. We had achieved our goal. After the battle, we regrouped and tended to our wounded. There were injuries, but thanks to the priest's efforts, no lives were lost. As we made our way back to the village, I felt a deep sense of accomplishment and relief. We had faced a formidable enemy and emerged victorious, not as individuals, but as a team. Back in the village, the atmosphere was jubilant. The villagers, who had lived in fear of the Chimera and its minions, were overjoyed at their newfound safety. They welcomed us back with open arms, and that night, we celebrated our hard-won victory. As I sat by the fire, surrounded by my friends and allies, I reflected on the journey that had brought us here. We had faced many challenges and made mistakes along the way, but we had also grown stronger together. I realized that true strength came not just from physical power or magical prowess, but from the bonds we forged and the support we gave each other. Next moves will be. But we can't let them succeed. If we can take control of this area and fortify it, we can ensure that the High King's seal remains intact and protect the continent from disaster. This battle is crucial, and every one of us has a role to play. Will, watch out. Mental's voice snapped me back to the present. The battle was raging around us, and the demon beast that had been lying in ambush lunged at me. I dodged just in time, feeling the rush of air as its claws swiped past my face. Thanks, Mental. Let's take this thing down together, I called back, raising my weapon. Anna and the other priests chanted their blessings, filling the air with the light of the gods. By the goddess of light, shield us from harm and grant us your protection. Anna's voice rang clear above the chaos. Antonio's logistical genius shone through as he coordinated our supplies and ensured that everyone had what they needed. Keep the healing potions coming. We can't afford to lose anyone, he barked orders, his eyes sharp and focused. We moved swiftly among our troops, boosting morale and keeping everyone in high spirits. We've got this, everyone. Remember, we're fighting for the future of our world. The demon beast was strong and cunning, but we were relentless. With Metal by my side, we struck with precision and power. The beast tried to escape, but we cornered it, and with a final, coordinated attack, we brought it down. Breathing heavily, I looked around at my friends and allies. We were battered and bruised, but we were still standing. We did it, I said, a smile spreading across my face. We really did it. But there was no time to rest. The reports indicated that the campaign to eliminate the demon beasts had begun, and we needed to stay vigilant. The bishop's words echoed in my mind: if we failed, we wouldn't be worthy of their backing any longer. But I had faith in our abilities, and in the bond we shared. As we moved deeper into the forest, we encountered more demon beasts, each one more ferocious than the last. But we fought with everything we had, driven by the knowledge that the fate of the continent rested on our shoulders. "Will, there's another one coming from the left," Metal shouted, and I turned just in time to block a strike from a massive, horned demon beast. "Everyone, focus your attacks on its legs. We need to bring it down," I ordered, and our team responded with precision. The battle was grueling, but we pushed through, each of us relying on the others to cover our weaknesses and amplify our strengths. Finally, with one last, mighty effort, we brought the beast crashing to the ground. As the dust settled, we regrouped and assessed our situation. We had taken heavy losses, but the demon beasts were thinning out. We were making progress. "Will, look over there," Antonio pointed to the remains of an abandoned monastery. "That could be a good place to set up a defensive position." I nodded. "Let's check it out. But be careful, there could be traps." As we approached the monastery, we moved cautiously, scanning for any signs of danger. Suddenly, a shimmering figure appeared, a demon beast with the ability to turn invisible. It lunged at us, but we were ready. "Omnia Vanitas Erasus," I shouted, invoking a powerful spell that dispelled the invisibility. The beast roared in fury as it became visible, and we attacked with everything we had. It was a fierce battle, but we emerged victorious. As the beast fell, I felt a sense of triumph. We were getting closer to our goal. "Will, do you think this place has some connection to the High King's seal?" Anna asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "It's possible," I replied. "If the demons are trying to keep this area in chaos, it must be important. We need to secure it and make sure the seal remains intact." We set up a defensive perimeter around the monastery and fortified our position. With each victory, we were one step closer to protecting the continent from disaster. Objections led to some laughter and light-hearted banter among the group. But beneath the jovial atmosphere, there was a profound sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. "All right, enough joking around," I said, bringing everyone back to focus. "We still have work to do. Let's keep moving." We advanced cautiously, aware that the demons and demon beasts could launch another surprise attack at any moment. The stakes were high, and we couldn't afford to let our guard down. The demon beast we had just defeated was a testament to the unnatural horrors that our enemies could conjure. Its 3 heads, each reacting differently, had posed a significant challenge, but we had outmaneuvered it through teamwork and strategic thinking. "Good job back there, everyone," Metal said, clapping a hand on my shoulder. "We handled that thing well." "Thanks, Metal," I replied. "But let's stay sharp. There could be more of them lurking around." As we moved through the desolate landscape, the remnants of an abandoned monastery came into view. It looked ancient and foreboding, a stark reminder of the battles that had been fought here long before our time. "Careful," Raystove warned. "There could be traps." We nodded, proceeding with caution. The air was thick with tension, and every shadow seemed to hold a potential threat. In the midst of our cautious advance, a voice echoed in my mind, a prayer to the goddess of Flux. "In the name of the goddess of Flux, I will destroy all of you." I couldn't help but feel a shiver run down my spine. The goddess of Flux, a deity associated with change and unpredictability, seemed to be warning us of the dangers ahead. But it also reminded me of the divine protection that had guided us this far. "Stay close," I whispered to my companions. "And watch each other's backs." As we entered the monastery, the atmosphere grew even more oppressive. It was as if the very walls were imbued with a lingering malice. The silence was broken only by the sound of our footsteps echoing through the empty halls. "Omnia Vanitas Erasus," I murmured, invoking a protective spell. Suddenly, a figure materialized before us, cloaked in shadows. It was laying in ambush with invisibility, Metal said, readying his weapon. "This thing's pretty damn smart. Do you think it's got some demon in it?" The figure laughed, a chilling sound that sent a shiver down my spine. "You're after the High King," it said. You know the High King Seal, do you? Are you a warrior sent by one of the gods? I steadied my breathing, focusing on the task at hand. Yes, and we won't let you take control of the city of the dead. We'll protect the seal and ensure your plans fail. The figure lunged at us, but we were ready. Metal and I moved as one, our weapons clashing against the creature's dark form. The battle was fierce, but our combined strength and the blessings of the gods gave us the edge we needed. Blaze's flames of courage, send us a tailwind of good fortune. I chanted, feeling a surge of power course through me. Gods of virtue, righteous protection, another priest called out, and a shimmering barrier enveloped us, repelling the creature's attacks. Let's finish this, Metal said, his voice filled with determination. With a final, powerful strike, we defeated the creature. As it dissolved into the shadows, a sense of relief washed over me. We did it, I said, breathing heavily. Yeah, Metal agreed, his face breaking into a grin. We did. As we regrouped, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in our victory. But I knew that this was just one battle in a much larger war. The city of the dead, the High King's Seal, and the demon's ultimate goal were still looming threats. You know, Metal, that sounds like a dream worth pursuing, I said, feeling a warmth spread through me at the thought. Transforming the city of the dead into a place full of life, laughter, and prosperity. It's what Mary, Blood, and Gus would have wanted. It's what they fought for. Metal, or Mental Door of Swift Wings as he was now known, nodded with a thoughtful expression. It's a huge task, Will. But I think it's something we can achieve. We've already done so much. We fought demons, saved villages, and built a foundation for a better future. Why stop now? I smiled at his determination. You're right. And we have the support of the villagers, the priests, and even the crown prince. We can make this happen. Antonio stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with ambition. I'll help too. With trade and proper management, we can turn this place into a thriving hub. The potential is limitless. Anna joined us, her presence calming and reassuring. And I will support you with the blessings of the Goddess of Light. Together, we can heal this land and its people. I took a deep breath, feeling a sense of resolve solidify within me. All right then. Let's do this. Let's gather the people, rebuild the villages, and create a safe haven for everyone. We'll start with the shrine and expand from there. We'll need to clear out any remaining demon threats and ensure the safety of the area. Once that's done, we can focus on infrastructure and governance. Metal grinned. Sounds like a plan. And remember, you have us by your side. We'll face any challenges together. As we walked back towards the village, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the land. It felt like a new beginning, a chance to build something truly remarkable. The villagers greeted us with smiles and gratitude, their spirits lifted by our victory and the promise of a brighter future. Over the next few weeks, we worked tirelessly. The shrine to Grace Field was completed, and the villagers began to hold regular ceremonies, their faith and hope renewed. We organized patrols to keep the area safe, and with Antonio's help, trade routes were established, bringing in much-needed supplies and resources. The process of rebuilding was slow but steady. We faced many challenges, from organizing labor to negotiating with nearby territories. But with each obstacle we overcame, our community grew stronger and more united. One evening, as we stood on the hill where Mary and Blood's graves were, I looked out over the bustling village below. The sound of children playing and people working filled the air, just as I had imagined. Metal placed a hand on my shoulder. We did it, Will. We've started something amazing here. I nodded, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. Yes, we did. And this is just the beginning. We'll continue to grow and improve, making this land a beacon of hope and prosperity. Anna smiled softly. The Goddess of Light is with us. She'll guide us on this path.